Welcome to the Bread and Hova Show. We are live. We have an action-packed show for you tonight. This is Hova. Bread will be joining us shortly. He's still in the Matrix, so so he'll be coming on soon. Um, but yeah, we have an action-packed show tonight. I want to give some quick shout outs before we get started with everything. I want to give a shout out to all the listeners and new listeners for tuning in to the Bread and Hova Show. We wouldn't be what we are without your support. So I want to thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Also, want to give a big shout out to Lou. Lou he's in the house. He'll be joining us shortly. He has his own sports show, the Enhanced Sports Show. So yeah, Lou's been with us since we started. So shout out to Lou. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Sticking Sensation, the Bread. This his group. They've been doing a lot of good things in the community, drum section, um, performance, and things of that nature. So want to give a shout out to them as well. All right. So as I said, this is Hova. Hova is back. I was away from the show for a couple of weeks. I had some business matters I had to take care of. Those business matters have been taken care of, and now I am back in the mix. So I'm very, very, very happy to be back. Um, yeah. So shout out to that. All right. So as I said, we got an action-packed show tonight. We have a lot of good things that have been happening in the sports world, and a lot of not so interesting things that has happened in the sports world. But we're going to get all into that. Um, I guess I'll start with the first of the news tonight around the room. We'll kind of start with that first. So going around the room. So this past weekend, um, we had some boxing action. As you know, this was I guess you could say Cinco de Mayo weekend. Those of you who celebrate Cinco de Mayo, all good, and those of you who don't, okay, it's all good too. But usually around Cinco de Mayo, we usually have a big boxing event. And in this particular case, we did have a big boxing event, but there wasn't a lot of action. And as a matter of fact, it has went down as the worst Cinco de Mayo boxing weekend in years, and would definitely have to agree with that. And but why? But why was that? Why was that the case? I mean, you had Canelo. Looks like Brad has just joined us. He's in the mix. See, Brad is in the mix. Um, but yeah, why is that the case? But I guess before we get into that good talk, I'm gonna go ahead and let Brad. Brad, you ready, Brad?
What's going on? Can you hear me, Hope?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear
Yep.
you loud and
Hey, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? Let's get it cracking. Yeah, man, I'm jump right on in, Hope. I think that, it's just so many fights that, you just did not have action. Total punches thrown. Everybody is kind of like sparring or whatever. I think you got more punches in a sparring match than what you saw this past weekend. It was just so many fights where it was the same theme of no action. And I just say the and I think that even with the other fights, Devin Haney, no action, no punches thrown. It's hard to judge fights like that when no punches are thrown. And the night after the main fight was, obviously with Canelo.
yeah,
And his guy Skewell. And he knew who Skewell was before this thing. He knew who he was before he signed on the dotted line. You knew Skewell was a guy that would stick and move, and he does a lot of movement. He's a Cuban boxer. And they have a certain way about them in terms of how they fight. He knew this going in, so don't complain when the guy, and that's for Canelo and his fans. Don't complain when a guy refuses to be a punching bag for your guy.
Yeah.
Now you got a lot of other fighters, and I just say it, the style of a lot of Mexican fighters is that they'll brawl. They'll box, some on box, but a lot of them would sit up there in the middle of the ring and brawl. And Canelo would mix it up with you and brawl if you sit there for him. But if you have some movement to you, he's always had a career problem. That's why he never fought a lot of fighters with a lot of movement like that. The last fight he fought with a lot of movement was Floyd, and you know what happened then.
Yeah.
So this guy was not a Floyd's caliber, but I think on the scorecard, and actually I think a judge, I think actually a judge had him winning or something like that. But I think if you looked at the scorecard, Skewell, I think he won the punch count. I think he would punch and move, and everybody like he was running. He was, he was very evasive. But I would have wanted him to kind of stick in there and throw more combinations, but he didn't. And when he did connect, they were not power punches. I think out of the two, Canelo had more power punches, and he had to go to the body. But I wouldn't hold. He did not cut out. Being the veteran that he is, and knowing who he was, he should have been the veteran and cut off the ring. And he did not cut off the ring. He didn't cut it off, and so that's his fault. That's it. That's Canelo's fault. If he didn't cut off the ring.
Yeah,
and he should have known better. And so they had him winning barely on points. But everybody wants to talk about Skewell and him not mixing it up. So I don't know, man. That's it's
yeah, man.
all depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, that's true. I guess basically school, he just wasn't busy enough. That unfortunately, just wasn't busy enough, man. And not to say Canelo wasn't it, but even when he was busy, he was more effective. So that's the reason why he won.
Yeah.
But so style make fights. We talked about it. We've talked about this many times. This fight set up very well for Canelo to win, and that's why he picked this guy. He picked this guy because he figured he didn't have to be the Canelo, but enough to do enough to win, and that's pretty much what he did. So that leads into the next big fight coming up, Crawford. And we've already talked about it on the show on more than one occasion about these two, they meet up.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say the Canelo this past weekend meet up with Crawford would lose. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Because Crawford's gonna stay busy. And he's gonna pick his litter. He's gonna pick where he want to go and what he need to do.
Yeah.
So Canelo gonna have to definitely bring it when he fight with Bud. He can't do that what he did with old Buddy.
Yeah.
So
because you hitting the nail on the head, Hov. I think the Bud Crawford, and we're gonna talk about it some more, but Bud Crawford, he's gonna move. He's not gonna sit there and be a punching bag. He's gonna mix it up. He's got multiple combinations. He's got the height. He's got the reach. And it's gonna be hard for him to get close to him. He's gonna mix it up a little bit and then get out the way because he knows that Canelo is slow.
Yeah, and what made Bud is a crafty fighter. He's a very crafty fighter, and he's gonna. The thing about Bud, he does enough to figure you out the first couple of rounds, and then he turn it up a notch and start bringing the fight to you. So That's the difference between him. He'll sit back maybe the first 2 rounds, let Canelo come in, and because he kind of want to figure out exactly what his plan, what he's doing. And once he got an idea after the first 2 rounds, then he changed the thing all up.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different fight. And then
Yeah.
he's all of a sudden you just seeing him connecting left and right.
You know what I think's gonna happen? I think Bud's gonna bring the attack to him early and then lay off. Because he's gonna bait it. They both gonna be trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Canelo gonna respect the punching power and the speed.
Oh yeah, he got, but yeah. Bud gonna have to respect the power, no doubt about that. He's gonna have to get him. He got to respect his power.
And I think
that's why I hear what you're saying. That's why I don't think he's gonna bring. I hear what you're saying that he may bring it early, and he may, but I think because of the power, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he want to take that much risk in the beginning.
He typically does not.
Because if you notice, most of his fights, he don't. Even when he fought Errol Spence, he did. He did the same thing.
Yeah, he did the same thing.
He didn't turn it on until a couple of other rounds, but he kind of just fade back.
Because what you don't want to happen is both of them testing each other out for the first 4 rounds, and so Bud just sitting back for the first couple of rounds, Canelo sitting back for the first couple of rounds, and then you ain't gonna get no action till like round 4.
But Canelo fight, I don't know. To me, Brad, and you can add to give me a different thought on it. But Canelo's style seems to be the same. He tend to come in and kind of act like he's the bully. So I don't anticipate him not doing that with Bud. He did it with Mayweather. He did it with Mayweather. So I definitely see him trying to come in and try to flex. Hey, I got the harder punches, so I can see him definitely doing that.
Yeah,
and I can definitely see Crawford welcoming that all the way.
Yeah, and I think by doing that, you playing the Bud's hands.
Well, you do.
Because he about 4 rounds. I mean, and you're right, but I just think that Canelo is one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I just think enough fights to know that the guy's basically one-dimensional. He's got a couple of combos, but he's not hard to figure out. But I think Bud lays back, figures him out, man. Round 4, man, really puts it on him. He's not known for coming in fast, but I've seen him a couple fights kind of. But what stops Canelo is a lot of movement. A lot of movement. Like Floyd. Floyd had a lot of movement. There's one more fight that he fought. They had a lot of movement too. They gave him some trouble.
Well, you're absolutely right. Movement to definitely give him trouble, no doubt about that. Because he's heavy. He's heavy on his foot, but because he throw power punches.
Power punches, right?
Yep. He's heavy on his feet. So, but was really not only that, but with Bud, where I see Bud giving him some problem because he's a switch hitter.
Oh yeah,
and Canelo's not. He's not a switch hitter.
Mm-mm.
So that's gonna give him some problem because he gonna see that. He gonna see where, depending on the fight, depending on how Bud sees it, he may go orthodox. He may go southpaw.
Yeah. Southpaw, yeah.
And he typically usually go most of the time when you see Bud go southpaw, he usually start fights, or most of the time he starts out unorthodox.
Mm-hmm.
But when he switched to southpaw, he usually bring on the heat. He usually bring it on to you a little bit more, and usually you end up losing especially when he goes southpaw.
Pretty much.
So
pretty much,
and I kind of see that going because he did that with Errol Spence, the same thing.
Yeah.
Errol, when he went to southpaw, that was it.
Oh yeah, it was a wrap. Oh man, it was ugly. My God, it was ugly.
It got real ugly, and I can kind of see this happening with Canelo. I can see him going southpaw and just start weighing that head out. So
yeah, man. He's going. I can see him black and blue in the face. That's gonna be a tough one for Canelo. He's just gonna be a punching bag for in
You ain't
mid to
lying.
later
Yeah,
rounds.
eventually in the mid and later rounds, it
He be a
started looking
punching bag.
like a punching
Because when
bag.
he fought Spence, when Bud fought Spence Jr., I wanted them to call the fight. I was texting you. I was like, "Hope they
Yeah,
gonna have to
yeah,
call this fight, man. They gonna have to
yeah. They're gonna
call
have to
this man.
call it because dude taking on. Yeah, and
I
I
mean, he
agree.
taking a beat. I mean,
Yeah,
it ain't even close."
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and Spence had movement. Spence had movement and some moves, but he just couldn't get out the way. So
No.
he kept moving in the wrong direction. He kept moving into the punches. Like,
Well,
gee,
like I said,
who does this?
Crawford calls anybody probably. Like I said, what's his name, Tony Ted Atlas or whatever. He does.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
explained it best. He said the reason why he said he'll give any boxer a problem because he's a switch hitter. He said the guy's a
Right.
damn switch hitter. So he said typically switch hitters. He said they're just on the fly. Even he said it. He said these guys they just on the damn fly. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know he'll make an adjustment on the fly, and you can't plan you can't plan for that, right? So
Can't play him
you
that.
can't plan for that type of style of fight. That's why I said style makes fights.
Can't play him for
You
that,
can't
man.
plan for that. There's no in the hell you can play. I've only seen maybe one. I can't even think of that boxer name. I've only seen maybe one boxer caught Bud a little early, and I think Bud kind of was a little lackadaisical. You know, he didn't
Yeah.
really, kind of let his guard down. He caught him a
Yeah.
little bit. You know, he
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
little weak, but I think that woke him up. But then,
Yeah.
what that next round though, then hell, it was all business.
It's
But
all business. Yeah. Yeah.
so there's a slight chance for Canelo that he can catch Crawford if if for whatever reason he get a little lackadaisical in the ring.
Bro.
But it's a very, like I say, but that
That's
that
a
chance
small chance.
that's that small chance a window come when it comes, you need to take it. If you
You
don't,
take it.
that's it.
Because I don't see
But
very many opportunities.
I don't anticipate Crawford coming into this fight with Canelo being lackadaisical. So
I don't see that
I
happening.
don't see that at all.
Hungry.
And I just see the Knicks just man, what's going on? Oh, we're gonna get on. I know we've been talking about the boxing.
I'm sorry, man. We can talk. We can spend an entire show talking about boxing. And man, these Knicks have just
Man, let's go ahead and get into the NBA playoff. What the hell is
the Knicks have just shocked the world, man.
what? Well, I didn't even talk about the Knicks. Look, how about the Pacers? I mean, what the hell is going on?
I don't know, man. This is different stuff.
I mean, these guys are winning on home turf. So hell, even Golden State. So
And look, man, and here we go again with Jason Tatum, an incredible baller, man. But when the game on the line, look at what happened. He had the last shot. The last shot could have won the game. He dribbling around looking crazy. He got a shot block, game over.
Man, but
the same guy. They put Bridges on.
Man, here's what I gotta say about Tatum. I think Tatum is a hell of a player. I gotta give him all the props in the world. But is he the guy?
He's not him.
Is he the guy that can close out the games when you need him?
He's not him.
He's not him. Right?
He's not him.
He's proven that.
Baller,
no, hell, he's a hell of a baller.
Now look, if the Celtics are up by 20, he the man. Dunking, 3 points, between the legs, slam dunk, alley-oops. He give it to you. He give you everything. He's the next coming of the whatever when you up by 20. But when the game on the line and you need him to win the game and he's supposed to be the best player on the court,
that's
gonna happen every time.
Yeah, that's when it's gonna be bump.
It's gonna happen every time.
Yeah,
he gonna give it his L, man. He gonna give that dope.
But see, that's what separate the good players from the great players or the best. You see, that's because I know when you put the ball in Michael Jordan hand at the end of the game, he was more like he's gonna end up deliver. He's delivered. He was gonna deliver regardless. That damn guy was gonna do. I mean, crunch time, he was gonna. If anything, he gonna get the damn ball off. But what you saw right there with Tatum, he choked, man.
Man.
He basically choked.
And he was looking to pass, looked like he was looking to pass
They were
the
looking,
ball.
but see, he wasn't even looking to get the ball up. They shoot. He was
Yeah,
looking to
I mean,
pass.
you're supposed to be the team captain, the man.
He's supposed to be taking the shot.
I mean, shit, you might well give it to Jalen Brown. You know what to do with it. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. I
just
know
saying.
we get some heat into this. I wonder what Lou got this. I'm gonna have him bring Lou on into this.
Bring Lou on in, man. Please, please.
Hey, Lou.
Lou.
Fellas, you are not going to believe this. You are not going to believe it. Another spectacular, incredible comeback finish for the Knicks, and Bridges John Havlicek on him at the end.
Did. Sure did.
Stole the ball.
Man, look. Lou, did you see this 2-0 starting like this, man? Did you see this?
No. I thought it'd be 2-0 in reverse.
Yeah,
Right.
I think a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not have this on my bingo card.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I didn't.
man,
Well, hell, I didn't think Indiana was going to be 2-0.
Me neither.
No.
That was not on my bingo card either. You know, Donovan Mitchell went off, but that was it.
Yeah.
You know,
And missing all their foul shots.
Yeah.
I think this time, I think probably, Brad, in a long time, you're starting to see parity. You're starting to see in the NBA where you can't go with just the favorite. I mean, the way this is going, hell, it could be Indiana and somebody else in the final.
Yeah.
You know, the way this is going, or the Knicks for that matter. You know, so
I mean, yeah. Anybody in the East can win this thing. It's wide open. I mean, and right now it looks like it's going to be Indiana. I mean, it's still early. You know, you don't want to go down 3-0, but you know, they got an uphill track.
I will have to say this, man. Halliburton, I hadn't watched a whole lot of his game, but I can tell you what, man, he's showing his ass in the playoffs. Now Now his father, we hadn't got into that, but
well, that's his dad's fault. He messed himself up, and his kid could be going to the championship, and he can't go because he's just been an idiot.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with. I definitely feel like he was an idiot. I don't know what was said between him and Giannis or what.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it wasn't. It wasn't. He, in my opinion, he was the one that ignited everything coming on the court.
He was. He went up in his face, and so I don't know if you guys are watching the Dave Chappelle, but Dave Chappelle. Well, Dave Chappelle, when he had the show, has a skit that's called "When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong." No, here's the big one. It's called "When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong." So that's exactly what happened to Halliburton's pops. He tried to keep it real and it went wrong. So it went very, very wrong. So yeah, guys. I mean, I think we're definitely seeing. I think you put it perfectly. Parity. This is where you want to see parity in the playoffs. You have 8 teams here. Anybody can win, and these games are so good.
So, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this many upsets. You know, with the favorites losing on their home court. I mean, look, you had the Cavaliers, which is, I think, a big stunner. I mean, they lost at home.
Yeah.
Then the Celtics, who are, of course, I can't stand. You know, actually, they're going to be a sweep the other way. They're going to, take 2 away from us, and they're going to win their 2 at home. Didn't happen. The Spurs are down. I mean, this is just not what I was going to see. I really didn't. I thought by now we'd be buried alive.
Yeah, man.
I mean, but to the Knicks credit, one thing I could say, Lou, to the Knicks credit, is that they're stepping up to the occasion, man, and that point guard, you guys got a point guard, that Brunson, man.
Yeah, man. He's healthy. He's healthy, man.
Shoot,
Yeah.
When you got a point guard and you can play some defense, that makes a big difference, man. When you And that's what I've noticed with the Knicks. You guys got a nice balance. You got guys that
We
can
do.
score, and you got some guys who can get out there and bang and D up, and that's what you need, man.
I mean, you
Who's the
and
who's the
you got
who's that?
Carl Anthony.
Who's that dude? Ujombi, number 8. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
On the Knicks,
Yeah,
but that was a good pickup because I think
very
you
good
guys
pickup.
you had Barrett, which is but it was good.
AJ
RJ
Barrett
Barrett?
just yeah.
Yeah, it was good. You went in and sent him on to Toronto and brought
Yeah,
that guy
yeah,
because this
yeah,
guy is
yeah.
physical. He scores. I mean, he
Yeah.
he definitely making a difference on the court.
Good
One thing
pick.
I noticed with the
You're
Knicks,
talking RJ Barrett, right?
huh?
RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. So you got Carl Anthony Towns.
Chat.
You know, he's coming out to play. That's good
Yeah.
size of skilled player. Bridges is playing great defense.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Bridges. Bridges been balling, and then that dude Hart.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
he been balling. So
Yes, sir.
and then you can always
Yeah.
count on your point guard. Your point guard, man, that guy, he makes crucial shots.
Yeah, man.
He's playing what they
cooking
call
them.
he's playing fearless.
Yeah, man. He cooking them. He's cooking them. And you know, you looking at Al Horford, man. He just couldn't get it done. You know,
Well,
it's
Al Horford is not in his prime anymore either. I mean,
right,
you know,
right.
this is a guy that he give you some good couple of minutes, but he's not the
Yeah,
he's not the,
I know the stuff that he once was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Porzingis is not 100%, and so I mean, they really don't have any size, to be honest.
Well, that's the key. That's the key injury. You said it right there, Porzingis, because the Celtics is a different team when he's out there.
Yeah.
But because he's gonna at least give them some good minutes, some good points, scoring and things.
Yeah, man. I mean, Jaylen Brown 20. You know, Tatum 13 points from Tatum. Really? And you missed the game winning shot, man.
But Tatum, that's the thing. Like you said, though, Brad. You know, Tatum is the guy that he looks all world when you're up 10, 20 points, 20. You know, but then when the games are tight, you get a kind of a different Jason Tatum, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man,
just
it's like,
never.
man, you gotta you when the game's on the line, do not put the ball in Jaylen Brown's hand or somebody else's hand. But when the game is on the line, like tonight, that is not the guy you want having the ball. But they're gonna give it to him because he's team captain.
Yeah.
You know, so they're gonna give it to him and you know, and
But I mean, what?
makes it happen.
But hell, what? The Celtics got a championship with him, right? So
I mean, they did. I mean, they came through, but again, when you got a healthy Porzingis, you know, and then you probably got the best of Al Horford that you're gonna get, and they clicking and and they're healthy. Yeah, you're gonna get that. And plus, you play from ahead. Jason Tatum's he's your guy for the most part. So, I mean, yeah, but you're right. You gotta give them credit for winning when they had to win, but shoot, man. They're gonna have to climb out this 0-2 hole, which I'm not mad about, but I'm not mad about it at all. So can you imagine when they play game 3 in New York? Game 3 is in New York, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. The Mecca basketball. Come on. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be so you're gonna have the defending champs that's gonna go down 0-3, possibly. Not anything possible now. They may be able to find something in it and win a game, but my goodness, man, 0-2 hole and you going to New York? Nah, man, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that.
You think OKC gonna win tonight?
They ain't got no chance.
They ain't got no choice, right?
But I mean, we'll see.
They're another team. They're another team. I don't know what it is, man, about them. I don't know what it is. I just don't think. I don't know.
Well,
I can't put my finger on it.
You look at Denver, and Denver's not that far removed from winning the championship themselves.
No, they're not.
Okay, and the only reason, like I said, they really got kicked out is because they were not healthy. Murray was hurt, somebody else was hurt, and Jokic had to do it all himself. And so he had to make tuna fish out of chicken. So look, man. I don't know, man. Denver's tough to beat. That was one of the squads I told somebody on the West. I said, man, look out for Denver. It might have been me and Lou talking last week, but I was like, look, man, look out for Denver because they are healthy. Jokic he looks like he's in MVP form again. My God. Aaron Gordon is tough. You got two big men, two legitimate big men, physical big men that can move, score, and they're healthy. Porter Jr., you forget about him, you're going to burn your eyes out. Man, and Murray, shoot, man, that dude's unstoppable when he's healthy. And they almost unbeatable when he's healthy. So, I don't know, guys. Denver looks good, but we'll see what OKC has for them. Not a huge believer. I mean, they're a good squad in the regular season. They got some pieces, but we'll see what they can come with, man, against a healthy Denver team, man, which looks just like, I don't know. What you got on that, Lou, with that series with OKC and Denver?
I'm kind of shocked right now. I mean, SEG was supposed to be, taking over this series, but Denver has shown, they're hanging in there. Yeah, I know it's not, that far removed from the championship, but with the way San Antonio, that's been going this year, I really thought that Wolves didn't have a chance. This series is very surprising. All the series so far have been surprising in the second round.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, I agree with you. All of them. Yeah.
All of them have been. I mean, nobody saw this. Nobody saw this guy.
Did someone forget to tell me that hell was freezing over, and that's why this is occurring?
Yeah. Hey, but it's probably chilly down there. So it's probably chilly 90 degrees. So
and that's
hell is hotter than the sun. So 90 degrees in the shade, man. So so look, man, I agree, guys. So what do you guys think about this other series we got between Golden State and the T-Wolves? Yeah, because and Steph is hurt. He's got a hammy.
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. He's got a hurt hammy, stage 2 or something, whatever, level 2, and he's gonna be out for a week basically, and then after a week it's gonna be day by day, and it sucks to see your top players not be able to perform in these games. So, did you see Golden State, Lou, winning game 1 before they played it?
I think I fell asleep in that, but I did hear of it.
Yeah. What you think about that, Hoble, in that game 1 with Golden State? Did you think they were going to come out and win that game in the fashion that they did?
Not really, but the thing about Minnesota, they've always been that team. 1 minute they look unstoppable. They're a very big team. Their strength is their size and defense.
Yeah.
Scoring points is not really their, strength, so to speak. You get flashes with Ant-Man and all that kind of stuff. But if he's having a bad night, who's going to be the next person up? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing with the Wolves is, so he's got to be on point every game. So
yeah.
That's my thing with them. I just don't know where they're going to get anything when he gets shut down. But but you know, their like I said, their MO is to play defense and keep the game close so they can, you know, win.
Yep.
Um, I don't know, man. They're a tough team to figure out. I just don't know. I think but you know, when I think about Golden State, even though Curry is hurt and everything, one thing about Golden State, they seem to be more balanced.
Yeah.
When it comes to now, granted, I mean, I don't think nobody really was going. I mean, no one was expecting Draymond Green to be shooting threes like he's still
Right.
Yeah.
like you know, like he's still Curry. You know, um, I don't. You know, we didn't expect that, but I don't know, man. I just think this. I think that series is gonna come down to uh who can execute the best. And right now, I like what I see with Golden State, even with Curry not even in the game.
Yeah, I think the coaching.
I can choose Hallman
and
right
it,
there.
yep.
Well, that's a good start, but I forgot about the coaching.
I think the coaching is really, you know, the coaching and the experience is tough to beat. You know, even with Curry not playing in the game. And how about Buddy Hield, man? Buddy Hield,
Yeah,
he was a big time player coming out of college. You know,
yeah, I forgot about it. I forgot to bring him up. Yeah, he was. He was known in college to score threes like you know nobody's business.
yeah,
But uh, I think the T Wolves got their hands full with Golden State, even with Curry.
yeah, I think they do. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because Golden it's you know you can overestimate the fact that you look at Golden State is the lowest seeded team in the playoffs, number 7.
Yeah,
You know, and so with that, but I think it's deceptive. They're a lot better than their seed, but you know they had different reasons of why they're number 7. You know, in the regular season, they did enough to kind of get in the playoffs, and the biggest thing is they have Jimmy buckets.
yeah. You can't forget about Jimmy buckets. Yeah,
You know, and so that was very timely to acquire him in the regular season for him to save your regular season where you don't have to play. You know, you get to number 7. And and now if you want a deep run, your main guy goes out. Well, you got Jimmy who can play inside, outside, whatever you need him to do when the game's on the line. You know, player that got a dog in. And so this team is deceptively well. I don't want to say deceptively good, but nobody saw Golden State coming.
but you
And here
know,
they go again.
here's the thing too, and you pointed out something I didn't say earlier is the coach.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
Steve Kerr, man. I mean, he's not out there, you know, shooting the ball, but he's got a lot of coaching experience when it comes to postseason,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that can make a big difference too. So you know, I'm not saying I don't, you know, I'm not saying the T Wolves. I can see that can be a big edge for
Yeah.
Golden State when it comes down to coaching, man. Because it's very easily the T Wolves coach can get out coached.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. If it comes down to that, and that's kind of what it's going to come down to. I mean, you know, you don't have Curry in there, so he's got to switch the lineup. And you know, and you're really gonna have to, you know, Podemski and all those guys and your bench squad, guys that you didn't plan on getting as many minutes, you're gonna have to depend on them to get minutes now, you know, and really at this point, Curry's prepared for a 7-game series. Okay. He's preparing. So when you're preparing for a marathon and not a sprint, yeah, and you're waiting for your man guy to come in. You want this thing to draw out as long as possible before you bring Curry back in. So is you know, and so he's like, all right, this game got out of hand. I'm giving my bench guys some run. No sweat, because we're already up a game. I mean, even if it's tied, you're still up because of you picked up a game on the road. And so all the pressure already after game one, the pressure's on Minnesota already. So Ant-Man's gonna have to stop crying to the refs. Great player, extraordinary player, but when things aren't going your way, you got to find some intestinal fortitude and to help lead your team, will your team to win these games and to be competitive. You gotta learn that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about. I mean, I like watching them play.
Oh, I like
I,
it.
I just don't. But the question for me is he really, really ready to take that next step to get a championship? You know what I'm saying? Is he
About to
there
find
yet?
out.
We're about to find out.
About to find out.
You know,
but right now, I don't know if you can.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of same here. I don't
I'm
know. I
not
mean,
saying no,
I'm not saying no either. But at the
but
same time, I'm not.
I mean, he gonna have to show us something.
Yeah,
And I mean, they got a solid squad, but they still got to show us something. And they got to come together and as a team because of him. And you're already coming up short on the coaching side, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even know who the coach is. So, but
I know when I see him. I know when I see him in the street.
Well, like that says a lot. But yeah,
Right? It says nothing. It says nothing. So, but man, look. I mean, you of course you beat LeBron and squad and company.
I
But
mean,
it's not hard to believe.
but let's keep it real. I mean,
Yeah, you have
yeah, like Lou was saying, the Lakers. I mean, yeah, they got Doncic, they got LeBron, but you got an older LeBron, right?
Yep.
And when you got Luca, but when you get past those two guys, what do you have, right?
Yeah, you playing your starters for 48 minutes.
Well, I mean, but there's a reason why. Well, there's a reason why, right?
Exactly.
Because what you got on the bench, you're not getting anything from it.
You don't
So
have anything.
yeah.
You got Bronny. That's what you got.
Mm-hmm.
You got Bronny.
Well,
So instead of getting one of these serviceable or more than serviceable young kids who probably would have done a pretty good job for you off the bench, you got Bronny.
man, but I mean, I'm not nothing against him. I mean, his dad got him there. Hey, it's all gravy. But we already know the truth, right? I mean, nobody's not
Right.
denying the fact that Braun is not ready. We already know that, but
Yeah.
it is what it is on that, Brad. You know what I'm
Not right
saying?
at all.
I mean,
No.
I can't, I can't really just, poo-poo on that. It is what it is. But I think,
but that's why they lost. Or part of the reason why they lose and they can't get better.
well,
They don't have a bench.
well, you got a bench in development. Well, probably should be playing G-ball. But I mean, but hey, man, again,
If that.
I mean, if that, right?
Yeah, but that's that's the point. They went ahead, and I get it. I understand the politics of it because of LeBron. Everybody knows what it is, and the politics of it.
Correct.
Is LeBron wanted to play with his son. He did it, and the consequence of that, which means an early exit out of playoffs. Although they went out there and got Luka, but what you need is one of these young Thundercats come off the bench, man, and give you something.
But the interesting thing though about LeBron's son, though, I mean, he ain't getting no chicken scratch. I mean, he chicken change either. I mean, he got a nice little deal.
Oh yeah, they put something in his pocket, but it's just like, God, man.
But what they put in his pocket, I mean, it's not equivalent to what he's putting on the court. So that's what
right, exactly. It ain't equivalent to what he put on the court, and it's not equivalent to wins. That is the problem. If you're a Laker fan, I'm hot, and that's why. And Ant-Man said something about it, but a lot of fans were booing LeBron. A lot of LA fans were
Yeah.
booing LeBron. He was mad. He was going back and forth with a fan in the audience and stuff. And that of all the Lakers stars, they liked him the least. And LeBron shouted back again, well, I won you a championship. What else do you want? The fans shouted back, that ain't a real.
Right.
What?
Well, it's simple. It's the business of what have you done for me lately, right? Same thing applies in any sport. What have you
Well, I
done for
heard
me
that.
lately? Yeah, you got me this, but you want another championship.
Yeah. Yeah,
And nobody wants to see where LeBron has so much pull on the team to where it's hurting the team to
Right.
win a championship, right?
Right. That part, Hope. That part.
Because you're absolutely right. Bronny should Bronny be on the bench over there collecting a nice payday? No.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, should he be in the G League? Probably. You know?
Yes.
Should have
Because
got
he's
that.
not, but like you said it better, bro. He's not giving you anything considering what the pay he's getting, right? So
Yeah.
you're not getting value. That's
Nah.
bottom line. You're not getting the value from the guy.
You're not getting anything. And that's what's so frustrating. You're not getting anything.
I mean, it's almost like he's over there on the bench and he just cheerleading for his pops.
Yeah. That's the
I'm
best
just-
you can do.
I don't mean that, but that's not going to win you any ball games.
Like,
So
ball games.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I get it. And but that's the price you pay. When you play the politics of it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the fans ain't digging it.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, I totally understand. I mean, the fans not being happy with that. I get it.
Yeah, they're not digging this at all. So with that, I mean, what do you do? I mean, and the thing, the pick that they with the Bronny deal, in my opinion, he shouldn't have even been drafted. But that's neither here nor there. Because if LeBron wasn't in the league,
he wouldn't be on that team, right?
He wouldn't be on that team.
Yeah.
Yet alone, he probably still be in college. If you think about it, that's where he should be.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there, man. I'm just glad I'm not a Lakers fan. I'd be highly pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just be beside myself at this point. Because I'm like, look, you're telling me as a fan, especially if I got season tickets, you're telling me that winning's not important.
Of course it is.
That's what not Lakers. Lakers don't believe in that. Lakers believe in whatever it is they're doing with LeBron and Bronny. Nostalgia, thinking that's going to sell some tickets, I guess. I don't know. But that's I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do with the fans to calm the fans' nerves. Over. I don't know what you do at this point. But at any rate, guys, just real quick, man, I want to touch on football just a little bit if I could, guys.
Sure.
And so the Bulldogs, man, we landed the number one quarterback in the nation for 2026, Jared Curtis. But
I don't know much about. I heard about it. I don't know much about Jared Curtis.
Yeah.
Maybe you can bring me up to speed. Is he I think they said he's like another Matthew Stafford, possibly, maybe.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Carried away here. There's only one Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, he's a big boy with a big arm. 6'4", 6'5", 226, 230. So he's about as big as a linebacker. He's more or less like a Tebow with an arm. He can run the ball. but scramble when he has to. He's got a huge arm. And he was highly touted. It was a competition between Georgia and Oregon because Oregon didn't have a quarterback or won't have a quarterback. So between Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart, man, but this kid chose Georgia. And he told you it's primarily because of the relationship he has with Georgia's offensive coordinator, Mike Bobo. And so I guess Bobo's good for something. With his recruitment, he's a good recruiter. So that's what happened there. We got him. We brought him in. It was at the 11th hour. He and his parents were sitting there. They just do the same old thing. Or because he had committed to Georgia before, right? But he decommitted. And then just say, okay, let me just see what's out there. And so those were the final two. And ultimately, Georgia won. Now, whether this guy starts or not, I don't know. He's going to have to compete because he's not the only 4 or 5-star quarterback that Georgia has on the team. If you look at the quarterback room for Georgia, they made up a number of 4 and 5-star quarterbacks, top 20 quarterbacks, top 30 quarterbacks, rather. So it's good to have those types of problems. Georgia fan.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing when we got Justin Fields,
Yep. Well, actually, he's Justin Fields type of quarterback. To be honest. Yeah, he's Justin Fields type of quarterback. Got the same type of game. And this guy, actually, he's not from Georgia. He's from Tennessee. Now, I think he's from Nashville, Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
And so coming out of that, and if you got a knock on him, I've just been talking about the pros, but if you have a con about this guy, and the question is his level of competition on the high school level, and so it's kind of like the level of competition of his conference or his division he plays in is not the best in the state. It's simply not the best.
No.
And so he's been doing it for what they would claim he's not doing it against. It's not like let me put it this way. It's not like you playing in 7A or 6A in Georgia. Let me put it that way. He's not playing against Grayson's, Milford Creeks, or some of the other big schools in the state of Georgia, Mill Creek. What's another one, Hobart? Marist.
Yeah.
What's the other Gwinnett school? Grayson,
Parkview, Brookwood.
Parkviews of the world. He's not playing those guys. He's not even playing the Cedar Groves, and that's a lower level, or not a lower level, but a smaller division for smaller schools actually.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. I mean, but hey, talent is talent. We see what he got. He's going to have a chance to compete when he comes up here, and whoever wins will definitely be the best quarterback that we're going to have coming out for that. So I can't wait to see him play. But until then, who we got? Who's going to start with Georgia in 2025? Who we got?
Donna Stockton.
All right. Gunner Stockton. He said we got Gunner Stockton, then Gunner Stockton it is. So I think Gunner did a pretty good job, guys, in starting for the Bulldogs. So I don't, they said what's the other guy's name? Polipsky or whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he gets hurt, you're probably not going to see him. He's a good quarterback though. He's a really good quarterback. He's pretty solid, man. Georgia can win with him. The thing about Georgia, guys, is this, and Georgia's going to have the best receiving corps in the nation. And I'm not just I wasn't able. We haven't been able to say that for a while. I mean, yeah, Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey, which was awesome. And just the two of them made it the best in the nation. But you got a core on both sides. You got two wide outs. Everybody that comes in there is going to be catching balls, man. That wide receiver core for Georgia is going to be sick. And so if you got Gunnar Stockton back there, who is really a good quarterback, it's going to make Gunnar Stockton look even better than what he really is. All we got to do is just make sure that the offensive line blocks and performs. That's my only question, is the offensive line getting back to rare form. I don't know about that, Hope. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a wait and see game. Yeah, I agree with you as far as the offense getting back into form. But one thing about Georgia, man, we always tend to work it out, and I think the defense, I think the defense is going to be um, solid as always. I don't think the
Yeah.
defense is going to be
Oh yeah, defense is gonna be good, even though we lost a couple. That's my
key
main guy.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah, I think defense. Malachi Starr. I think the defense, as long as Kirby is there, Georgia's defense is always gonna be good.
yeah.
It won't be 2021 good, at least not this year, but you're gonna be solid. So I probably won't worry about that defense too much.
No,
They got a lot to prove. Got a lot to prove. So I think they'll be well coached and ready to go. So
yeah.
and before we move on, Lou, if you could, man, if you tell us about what's going on in hockey, man. I haven't been able to really keep up like I wanted to. I've just been seeing bits and pieces.
Well, it's been competitive. Even on the big four teams have been out, namely the Blackhawks, the Red Wings, the Rangers, and the Bruins. Because the first time in 83 years that none of the original four teams from the U.S. made the playoffs. So it's pretty sad, to be honest. But the Capitals are still involved. However, they lost the second game, so now it's 1-1. And of course, the Capitals finished top of these. Tough series against the Jets, as they almost lost to the Blues. But it was a very interesting and shocking game 7 inning. Down 3-1 with under 2 minutes to play. You ready for this? The Jets came back roaring, and they get the tying goal with 1.7 seconds on the regulation to tie it up. I'm like, what the hell? How did this happen?
Wow.
And then had to go deep into the second overtime to pull it out. And so my pick for the Stanley Cup Final stays alive, as the Capitals and Jets are still in.
All right.
Sickening. Absolutely bizarre.
Crazy, man.
It's bizarre.
It is. Sounds like it. I saw the highlights, man, on ESPN, man. I was like, wow, some good stuff, man. So I need to catch up. And real quick, baseball notes, man. I will say quickly about the Braves. I know we were down. I haven't looked at the score lately, Hobo. I don't, but I mean, look, Braves are in the mix, man. Braves are fine. I'm not worried. Look, we're only about a game or two under 500, and being that we started like 0-7 or 0-10 or something like that, something crazy we started, and so now we're in the middle of the pack. Only a couple of games up under 500, and we had pretty good series against everybody except for the Dodgers, which was okay, it's the Dodgers, whatever. So, but everybody else, we've been doing pretty well. We've been winning series. We've been having timely hitting, not great hitting, but it's been timely, and the pitching's been really good. So Braves pitching is coming along, and the hits, we're hanging in there. So look, here come the Braves. Look out.
Well, not yet. I mean, you still got a way to catch up to catch up to the Mets, but
look, we're only 5 games behind the Mets, so we're not worried at all. Only 5 games behind the Mets, and a couple of games behind the Philadelphia Filthies. And we'll be able to catch whoever else is. I don't know, Washington or somebody. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So we're in the mix, man. We're in the mix, guys. I think we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine. Give it some time, and the mutts will fall. Give it time. They always do.
Yes.
They always do. So it looks like Aaron Judge is having a pretty good year so far. Any Lou?
So far, he is. Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah. He's looking in rare form, man. Just keep him healthy. Keep
That's
him
all I
healthy.
hear.
Keep him healthy, man, and you guys will be just fine.
Yes.
Yep. So look, man, we're up against it. So Lou, if you could, brother, if you could just take us home, man.
Enhanced Sports Show rolls on Friday 4 to 6, Saturday 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry. Number was 512-543-4662. Got a lot to talk about. We continue with our NHL and NBA playoffs. We'll recap the Kentucky Derby, which was a wild one. We'll look over the picks for the who can get number one in the NHL and NBA draft because NHL was released Monday and the results are out. We'll cover the preview for the NBA draft lottery on Saturday because the draft lottery is Monday. Also, of course, we'll have MLB. We'll cover the last of the WNBA preseason before the real season starts.
Yeah.
Any NFL moves that come in, and we'll cover some UFL. And of course, don't forget it's also Ladies' Night because Sunday is Mother's Day. So all you moms out there, or you're planning to be or a mom to be, or if you're a sister-in-law or a daughter-in-law or whatever, feel free to call in. Number is 512-543-4662. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportsshow.com. And don't forget to like and share the Facebook page as well. So if there's a special lady in your life, tell them to call in.
All right.
All right.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Lou.
All right. Bye, fellas.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. And with that, guys, we're going to see you next week. Same back channel, same back time. Speak on it.
Speak on it.